Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week in Destiny, we are starting to board the Heresy hype train. While the first TWAB back helped us ease into the new year, we've got a flurry of Heresy updates over the next few weeks, starting with a preview on some big updates coming to abilities. We've also got a dungeon race details as well as the results of the hotly contested Festival of the Lost Armor voting. So let's jump into it. So topics for this week: dungeon race details. And yes, we're getting a new dungeon with Heresy. Heresy abilities update, passes Prologue event, Festival of the Lost Armor winners, game to give 2025, Destiny 2 fashion feedback update, new emblem for the Scorgan movie of the week entry. So there you go, guys. Yeah, we've got an eggplant bet. My people that said whether or not we were going to see some Heresy stuff, well, we've got it. So y'all paid out. Time to reinstall Destiny 2. Oh my God. Hold up. We get too carried away. Sundered Doctrine dungeon race. Heresy is right around the corner, and with it comes the launch of a new dungeon. On Friday, February the 7th, travel the Savathun's throne world and infiltrate Rolk's pyramid ship in the new dungeon, Sundered Doctrine. What, dude? Hold up. How does this make sense? Because the raid is present there. Now, to celebrate the launch, we're issuing a challenge to the top fire teams of the world with the Sundered Doctrine dungeon race. As we do with Vesper's host, Sundered Doctrine will have contest mode enabled for the first 48 hours, providing the most difficult version of the dungeon for the race and any brave guardians who want the ultimate challenge. This time around, rather than a podium race, we'll be looking to crown the single team that rises to the top and finishes first. Okay, so last time it was 3 teams, right? With that, we are leveling up the rewards, creating something memorable and unique to honor the incredible accomplishment of the winning team. That's why for this race, each winning team member will receive the first ever dungeon race trophy. We'll get a glimpse of this new prize as we get closer to the dungeon launch, so stay tuned. All right, so instead of a belt, you get a trophy. Now let's take a look at some of the finer details for the Sundered Doctrine dungeon race. Details: contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours. You will need to be at 1995 power level to be at the cap throughout all encounters. Now, entry requirements: assemble a fire team of 3 players and start the Sundered Doctrine dungeon in contest mode from the planet system map. All fire team members must own the final shape dungeon key and acquire the Drowning Labyrinth quest to enter the dungeon. Now, completion criteria: once the final encounter is complete, the fire team must loot the final chest, or their finish may not be recorded. The team's official finish will be recorded when they loot the final chest. At least one member of the fire team must have completed and received loot for every encounter, and it must be the first time completing the activity for all members of the fire team. Full details on eligibility and requirements for the race, please visit our official rules. Now, contest mode details for the first 48 hours will enable contest mode, ramping up the difficulty for brave teams looking to take on the challenge. In contest mode, enemies are more aggressive. Encounters feature resurrection tokens and have an enraged mechanic that limits the number of phases or the time players have left to complete it. Also, character power does not provide any advantage above the recommended level. So keep in mind too, if you remember from Vesper's contest, guys, it was no joke. I mean, it put the hurt on us, dude. And I would assume this one will as well. Now, contest mode also comes with some extra perks to reward your hard work and excellence. Fire teams that manage to conquer Sundered Doctrine in contest mode will earn a special emblem and are guaranteed the dungeon exotic weapon drop. This is arguably the best incentive for hitting the day 1 dungeon there for contest mode, guys. Getting the exotic as a guaranteed drop is huge. Now, if contest mode isn't your thing, you won't have to wait too long to have more ways to play. Normal mode will be enabled as soon as the first fire team completes the dungeon. All right, so just like last time, that's good. Now, following the dungeon race, looking to follow the best of the best as they go head to head to claim champion in the Sundered Doctrine dungeon race. Checking in the official race coverage stream in partnership with Community Voices, CB Gray and Evan, this official event, Dungeon Zone. They do such a good job, man. Don't miss a moment of the action from the loot, encounters, progress, developer interviews, behind-the-scenes dungeon talk, and more. Yeah, that's a good time, man. That's a good time. The Zone team will be streaming from 7 a.m. Pacific with a pre-show countdown before following the action live from 9 a.m. Pacific until one team emerges victorious. Viewers can also obtain the Trigonic Amber Emblem. Am I saying that right? Is it Trigonic? Obtain the Trigonic Amber Emblem by tuning into the stream. We will share more details in an upcoming update around how to claim it. Okay, so this is for CB and Evan's stream right here, guys. You can get this emblem for tuning in. All right, that's the emblem. Looks good. It's a worm. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I'm really curious about the lore surrounding why we are going back into Savathun's throne world and what in the world we're trying to get out of Rolk's ship. Again, this is all going to be tying into us leaving our system and going wherever Frontiers is supposed to take us. What if we're going there to take the worm? Remember the, you know, the big worm on Rourke's ship? That's essentially powering the ship. Heresy ability updates. Howdy y'all, abilities team here. We have a mountain of new abilities content for episode Heresy. Today we're going to look at all the changes and additions in 3 broad sections. New arc verb, bolt charge. 3 new aspects added. Heresy ability balance pass. Let's start with the new arc keyword bolt charge, which is featured in some of our new arc aspects. Okay, so bolt charge. We've had time to sit with the arc subclasses for some time now and wanted to address a systematic need they had with the reduced number of buffs the damage type has versus others. We wanted to use that space to add something that brought arc a powerful damage tool, which we felt was missing. However, bolt charge is a little different mechanically than our previous ones. Bolt charge is a positive stacking buff that you build up on yourself over time. Once you reach max charge, your next ability attack will unleash a devastating bolt of arc lightning. Now, while you have 1 or more stacks from any source, aspects, fragments, weapon, perks, etc., dealing damage with any weapon increases your bolt charge stack count. Each time a stack is gained, you gain a chunk of melee energy, and at 10 stacks, your bolt charge is ready, and any ability damage, arc or otherwise, summons a powerful arc bolt, dealing roughly the same amount of damage as a solar ignition with a smaller area of effect. Different from ignition though, bolt charge is tuned to have more consistent and predictable uptime. Now, similar to the addition of frost armor to stasis with the release of the final shape, we have woven bolt charge into arc and prismatic suites to allow those subclasses to access this new keyword. The new arc aspect for Striker Titan and Stormcaller Warlock also features bolt charge. Please refer to the balance pass section below for full details. We've had a fun designing and playing with bolt charge. The loop of gaining bolt charge stack, building it up through combat, and then receiving a big payoff ties deeply into the fantasy of Arc's momentum-based gameplay, as well as being deeply tied into the Arc ecosystem, which has opened new build crafting options consistent with other damage types. We can't wait to see the new builds and combos players cook up with bolt charge, and as always, we'll be monitoring feedback and we'll adjust accordingly. Okay, let's move on to the new subclass aspects. Ah, damn it. Did anybody expect this I was expecting like if they were going to add anything aspect wise, much less a verb that was going to be pushed into frontiers. Whoa. Hold up. Everybody's like, we're back. Destiny is saved. We never need to D3. Can you calm down? Can y'all calm down a little bit? This does not change everything. Hold up. Let's get through these aspects first. Okay, on the prowl. All right, Night Stalkers, you're first. On the Prowl is a new void aspect for hunters that embodies the fantasy of hunting down prey and being rewarded for the kill. So this is on the Prowl. Entering invisibility marks a nearby enemy as a priority target for you and your team. Note, this does not enable players to see marked targets through walls in the Crucible, okay? Now, defeating priority targets creates a weakening cloud of smoke that makes you and allies invisible when passing through it. When priority targets are defeated, you and nearby allies gain increased weapon reload speed and stability for a short duration and are granted grenade, melee, and class ability energy. All right, so he goes invisible. Okay. They pass through the smoke cloud again, go invisible again. Wow, okay, all right. So what this is really going to promote is a lot of death balling inside of PvP. Everyone's going to be moving together, getting kills, and then refreshing thy invisibility. No, it looks good, dude. But again, right here, entering invisibility marks a nearby enemy as a priority target for you and your team. So any means of entering invisibility. Now, even like breaking out like Rat King or something like this to proc it. You know what I mean? That's why it's called On the Prowl. There you go. Now, the Night Stalker has many ways to go invisible to kick off On the Prowl, including Vanishing Steps, Stylist Executioner, Spectral Blades, Rat King. Pick your favorite. When that happens, a nearby non-boss target will be highlighted for you and your fire team. Once the highlighted target has been defeated by you or anyone in your fire team, the entire fire team is granted a stack of successful hunts. Above that grants weapon reload speed and stability bonuses along with a small chunk of your melee, grenade, class ability energy. Successful hunt can also stack up to 3 times. Also, when a highlighted target is defeated, a weakening cloud of smoke is created that will make you and an ally that passed through it invisible, thus meeting the condition for activating On the Prowl again. Oh, okay, so it's refreshing there. What we envisioned for this aspect was to embody what it means to be a void hunter. To us, it was important to reflect the fantasy of bounty hunter. On the Prowl works well with the entire Night Stalker kit and allows your allies in on the fun. For a short time, even warlocks and titans can feel what it's like to be a bounty hunter. Wait, didn't we ship a bounty hunter gun too? Curious. What? Is it referring to Slayer's Fang? I don't know. I'd rather look into this. All right, now Storm's Keep. Strikers, you're up. Storm's Keep is a new class ability focused aspect for Arc Titans that utilize bolt charge to its fullest potential. So Storm's Keep casts your class ability to grant a moderate number of bolt charge stacks to you and nearby allies. While behind your barricade, you and allies gain stacks of bolt charge, and over time, and any weapon damage will discharge max stacks of bolt charge. So, all right, let's take a look at this. We wanted to do a few things with aspect for strikers. We wanted to create an opportunity for barricade to be used offensively, and we wanted to capitalize on what bolt charge can provide. We envision strikers pushing forward on the battlefield and using their class abilities to submit themselves as the tip of the spear in any fire team. All right, let's take a look. Okay, they got the bolt charge right there. See that? Bolt charge ready. Wait, what? Okay, so you'll see it at the target location. I'm more or less looking at the health of this brig right now. Yeah, that chunks it down. Yeah, you see the lightning strike, but look at the health being chunked down. And then the AoE damage as well. Yeah, it reminds me of Cloud Strike. Yeah, or like Thunderlord. Like Thunderlord. Got Pocket Thunderlord, but in your barricade right here with this aspect. And then just bolt charge in general. Yeah, resets the counter. Yeah. You got that. Discharges, boom, and then starts it back up again. Wow, this is really going to add a lot of benefits to using your rally barricades now. I mean, you could just literally just keep reprocking it. The question is what happens if you tag this with Thunderlord? You know what I mean? You got I'm assuming you're just going to have multiple lightning strikes. There probably won't be any limit to it. Now, casting thruster or barricade will give you and any nearby allies a good chunk of bolt charge stacks and the melee energy that comes along with bolt charge. If you opt for the barricade version, standing behind the barricade will grant additional bolt charge stacks over time. Once you have full stacks, any weapon damage you deal while standing behind your barricade will also cash in bolt charge, calling down a lightning bolts at your target's location. Standard bolt charge allows you to call down lightning by dealing ability damage, but the Storm Keeps you can call down lightning just by shooting enemies while behind your barricade. This is especially potent with Rally Barricade as it allows multiple bolts from you and your allies and provides solid boss damage. We're excited to see how players build craft around Bolt Charge and Storm's Keep to maximize damage and add to Striker's legacy as the hit fast, hit hard subclass. All right, it might be pretty good, guys. Might be that. I mean, look, when was the last time anyone in a damage phase was like somebody put down a rally? You know, I haven't heard that in years. Most people, I mean, with Luna Faction, called it a day. You know what I mean? Well, Luna Faction, that's it. And I know that they're trying to push us to use barricades more, you know, because it's got the aggro effect. All right, now we move on. Ionic Sentry. We're just going to come out and say it. Everyone loves buddies. And Arc Soul was begging us for a sibling. Behold, we found one in Ionic Sentry, our new arc aspect for Stormcaller Warlocks. Dude, you know what? I wish we can get buddies on the Titan class. You know what I'm saying? Why is Warlocks the only one that gets this stuff? What about Titan Sentries? There you go. Why, you know what I'm saying? Everything, all the companions and buddy systems just go straight to Warlocks every time. Ionic Sentry. Defeat targets with arc abilities or weapons to charge up an Ionic Sentry. Activate Grenade. Deploy a powerful arc turret which blinds on impact and sends out bolts of lightning that chain to nearby enemies and grants stack of bolt charge when defeats enemies. Okay, so let's take a look here, guys. All right. Oh my God, look at it. Look at that. Oh my God. This is some bullshit. So you're going to be able to double stack this. You're going to be able to double stack that. You can have an Arc Soul and you can put out this Ionic Sentry. That's just Orbis Storm from Path of Exile. Look, man. I would say Bungie should shamelessly copy everything from Path of Exile. Seriously. I don't give a damn. You think I'm going to be mad about it? I don't care. Copy, shame, everything. Copy it all. The whole skill tree too. And then while you're at it, copy Warframe. Take all the MMO aspects, the clan dojos, everything. Now, Stormcallers are masterful at channeling arc energy, reshaping and redeploying it to cause mayhem on the battlefield. With Ionic Sentry, Stormcallers have harnessed arc energy and coalesced it into a perfect orb of hurricane and harmony. Once it's charged up through arc ability and weapon kills, you gain access to Ionic Sentry as a special grenade throw, similar to how Gunpowder Gamble works for Gunslinger. When it first lands on the battlefield, Ionic Sentry will blind any nearby enemies and begin chaining lightning between enemies, dealing damage. When Ionic Sentry defeats any targets, you will gain a stack of bolt charge, making it a great way to build up bolt charge stacks quickly. In our playtest, Ionic Sentry has been a favorite of Stormcallers, providing much needed area control during combat and access to potent damage through bolt charge. The build crafting paths of Stormcaller are much wider with Ionic Sentry in the mix, and we're excited to see where players take it. As always, we're so excited to get these aspects into players' hands, and we'll keep an eye on feedback. Alrighty, guys, is this the first set of aspects added since, I want to say, Final Shape? Are these going to be added in Prismatic? I don't think so. I don't think so. It seems like this is going to be for the single subclasses themselves, so not Prismatic. You read it, though. It's for both. Similar to the addition of Frost Armor to Stasis with the release of the Final Shape, we have woven Bolt Charge to the Arc and Prismatic suites. Bolt Charge, guys, the new verb, not the aspects. Let's move on here. Heresy balance changes. With the big ticket items out of the way, let's take a look at upcoming changes to tried and true abilities in the sandbox. Our primary focus for this release is arc abilities, but there are several non-arc changes as well. So for Hunter, Arc Strider, Tempest Strike, new additional effect added, killing any jolted target grants a stack of bolt charge. Okay. Any jolted target. Okay. Increased damage against PV combatants by 57%. Oh, damn. Disorienting Blow now grants a moderate amount of bolt charge stacks when dealing damage with Disorienting Blow. Disorienting Blow now deals significant damage in an area around the target hit instead of just a single target damage. Interesting. Increase the blind AoE from 6 meters to 9.6 meters. Good God. That's huge, man. Now, Arc Staff. Reflecting an attack will grant a stack of bolt charge. Whoa. Blind Ranger is about to be meta. It's about to go down. Look. With the right enemy, you get that right enemy that's able to blow their entire load into you, and you're rocking Blind Ranger, and now we're going to attack on Bolt Charge? No lie, guys. It puts out a lot of damage. How does this make sense? The aspect for Titans, Storm's Keep, allows you to emit the bolt charges when standing behind the rally. While behind your barricade, you and allies gain stacks of bolt charge over time and will discharge max stacks of bolt charge. Okay, so what you could do is pop your Arc Staff, twirl, deflect, stand behind a rally barricade, emit bolt charges in the process. Dude, it might be good. It says right here, it says bolt charge over time and any weapon damage. Fuck. I got it. Anarchy. Throw down 2 Anarchy shots. Pop Arc Staff. Behind rally barricade. Twirl. Block. Anarchy continues doing damage. Does damage over time. Also procs the bolt charge discharge. No. That would work. That's actually meta. That's going to be good, man. Watch what we say. All right. Ascension. Increase fragment slots to 3 on Arc. Note, Ascension was already granting 3 fragment slots on Prismatic. Now, activating Ascension will now activate the effects from the following abilities: Gambler's Dodge, Marksman's Dodge, Empowering Dodge, and Threaded Spectre. Note, we don't plan to make Ascension activate every Hunter class ability, but we may add more interactions in the future. That's nice. That's really nice. Essentially, multiple effects happening at once. That's a great buff, guys. Now, Thread Runner, Ensnaring Slam. Activating Ensnaring Slam will now activate the effects from the following abilities: Gambler's Dodge. Oh, wow. So same thing. Marksman Dodge and Threaded Spectre. Note, we don't plan to make Ensnaring Slam activate every Hunter class ability perk, but we may add more interactions in the future. And Threaded Spectre, increase the clone's PV damage resistance from 40% to 70%. All right. Titans. All Titan subclasses. Barricade. Increase damage resistance versus combatant splash damage attacks when standing behind barricade from 60% to 80%. Taunt strength and range no longer fall off over time. All right. Anybody feel like they're leaning into the taunt effect of their barricades? I don't feel like, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I'm prismatic, still rock thrusters. Now, Striker, Juggernaut. While Juggernaut Shield is active, players now have splash damage resistance. 60% splash damage resistance in PvE, 10% in PvP. While the Juggernaut Shield is active, players now have 10% damage resistance versus PvE combatants. When the Juggernaut Shield blocks damage, players are granted a stack of bolt charge. So what? We can run in Peregrine Greaves, Juggernauts, acquire maximum stacks, get the melee off with a discharge. All right, Ballistic Slam. Sprint time requirements before activation significantly reduced. Damage now scales based on distance traveled. Oh, damage versus PvE combatants increased by 30%. Each enemy damaged by Ballistic Slam grants a stack of bolt charge, up to a max of 10 stacks if you manage to hit 10 targets with a single activation. Hold up, man. First up, this thing desperately needed a buff. Ballistic Slam needs that extra damage. But this right here, the damage scales based on distance traveled. So it's the 30% flat buff. And then depending on how far you actually do the slam animation. Dude, I wonder what the scaling is. Skullfort is back. Yeah. And just with the 30% buff, I would be breaking out Skullfort. But this and this. Here's the thing though. Get ready. Just get ready, guys. In a Grandmaster near you, you're going to see a Titan climbing some damn tower, completely exposing themselves. And 1 out of 10 times, they're going to get the perfect slam and get the kill. The other 9 times, they're going to die. And their damn ghost is going to be in a terrible spot and you're going to have to go get them. But man, that 1 out of 10 is worth it though. All right, Sentinel, Unbreakable. Increase the rate that the Unbreakable offensive throw charges up when blocking damage. Okay. Increase max damage dealt from the offensive throw by 20%. Increase the health pool of the shield and make it less likely to break when under heavy fire. Increase the void overshield charge rate when holding the shield. Throw now costs half of a grenade energy charge instead of a full charge. Now, while Sentinel Shield is equipped, Orb of Power creation cooldown increased from 1 second to 4.5 seconds. Note, Unbreakable has received a significant buff here. We want it to be strong, but we'll be monitoring it closely to make sure we haven't gone too far. So half a grenade energy charge instead of a full charge. You could do back-to-back charges there. In some cases more. Armamentarium or something, right? All right, Sunbreaker, Consecration. Reduce Scorch Wave and Slam Wave damage in PvE by 55%. Note, when reviewing the damage cost ratio for certain abilities, it became clear that Consecration was doing too much for too little. We didn't want to take away from the dramatic pop moments of landing both waves on a target though, so we kept its increased ignition damage bonus and instead reduced the wave damage. We suspect we may also need to adjust the ignition damage in the future. It was busted. Was it really, guys? Hold on, let's talk about this logically. Was it really? I mean, come on. A Synthesept Severance or Synthesept Inmost Light Consecration Slam. Was it that bad? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what Titans are gonna do. I think Titans have been using Consecration Slam for so long that depending on how big of a nerf this is, and we'll be checking it out. 55% is no joke, man. It says the Scorch Wave and the Slam Wave, but, you know, the ignition damage is not being scaled back, but we'll have to take a look at it. But if this is really going to get killed, and if they end up killing ignition damage, Titans are literally just going to go back to, in my opinion, I think they're going to go back to Strand 1-2 Punch. Oh, I did miss Ward of Dawn. I'm sorry. I thought you said Dawn Blade. Ward of Dawn. Ward of Dawn now does a weakened pulse when the ward is created. Actually, that's pretty nice. That's actually pretty nice. You go in, drop the bubble, Weapons of Light, weakened pulse, probably going to be the 15%. Any more than that, probably be too much. But this right here, man, this one hurts, dude. It hurts bad. I bet Warlock's going to have nothing but buffs. Warlock, Stormcaller, Storm Trance increase non-champion PV damage by 20%. Chaos Reach increase non-champion PV damage by 15%. Lightning Surge, remove amplified on casts. Now grants a stack of bolt charge for each enemy hit with Lightning Surge. Increase damage versus PV combatants by 30%. All right, Voidwalker. Handel Supernova Chaos Accelerant Magnetic Grenade variant. Increase total projectile count from 5 to 9. Increase the width of the cone's blast by roughly 2 meters. Good lord. Increase the height of the cone's blast by 1 meter. Reduce projectile damage in PvP from 20 to 15 per projectile to account for the additional projectiles. I mean, you're getting way more damage though. Way more projectiles. Note, adding 4 projectiles is potentially a substantial damage increase, but due to the increased size of the cone blast, all projectiles won't land on a single smaller target. This means PvP potency should remain similar, but in PvE, this becomes a much more reliable add clear tool or single target burst damage option against larger targets. Do y'all remember when Handel's Supernova first came out? Y'all remember how annoying that was? You would sit there, get someone one shot, go around the corner to clean them up, and they just be charging away and disintegrate your ass. It was so busted. Arguably one of the most busted things in Destiny ever. All right, now all classes, Solar, Radiant, damage bonus reduced from 25% to 20% in PvE. Will the Radiant's damage bonus remains unchanged? Interesting. Stasis, Frost Armor, increased damage resistance per stack from 4.5% to 6.25%. That's nice. At max X, damage resistance goes from 36 to 50%. Note this changes PvE only. PvP values remain unchanged. Yeah, that would have been nice this past season, though, considering all the artifact mods, right? All right, Arc, Amplified. While Amplified, PvP combatants are now less accurate against you. Interesting. Okay. This is similar to how the Mana Core's exotic effect works while in air. Oh, that's crazy, guys. I don't think y'all realize how big of a change this is. Now, while Amplified players now have 50% damage resistance against PvP combatants. What? It's season the Arc next season, guys. Arc's about to cook everything. Day 1 dungeon, be ready. We're all using Arc. That's crazy, man. The Spark of Discharge, added effect. Picking up an Ionic Trace grants a stack of Bolt Charge. Spark of Momentum, added effect. Sliding over ammo bricks now also grants a stack of Bolt Charge. Remove the bespoke melee energy bonus from sliding over ammo bricks since each stack of Bolt Charge comes with bonus melee energy. Reduce the amount of time you need to be sliding to activate Spark of Momentum. This should make it so that you start your slide on top of an ammo brick. Spark of Momentum will still activate instead of previously needing to slide into the brick after roughly 0.75 seconds. 0.75? Really? That's a long slide. That was like the tail end of the slide. Spark of Frequency, added effect. While amplified, gain a bonus stack of bolt charge from all sources in addition to previous effects. Spark of Volts, effect, added effect. Finishers grant a stack of bolt charge in addition to granting amplified. Spark of Ions, added effect. Targets defeated with bolt charge will also make an ionic trace in addition to previous effects. The Prismatic Fast of Hope can now be activated by bolt charge. Fast of Purpose now grants a stack of bolt charge on or pickup when an arc super is equipped instead of granting amplified. Fast of Sacrifice can now be activated by bolt charge. I personally just think, guys, going into this next episode, it's like Season the Plunder all over again. This change right here to Amplified, considering there's so many ways to obtain and sustain Amplified on a pure arc subclass. Dude, it's gonna cook, man. Now, my Warlocks break out Crown, Liar's Handshake for Hunters, Skull Fort for my Titans. There's a host of different exotics we'll be able to lean into, but it's gonna be good, man. And then on top of that, you'll be able to lean into weapons that can also give you that as well. All right, now modifiers. Brawn. Tune healing sources to better balance the health economy when this modifier is active. And that's all we have for Heresy. We're looking forward to jumping into the game with all of you and for you to get your hands on with all these changes and additions. Please keep the feedback coming and we'll see you soon. Now, the pass is Prologue quest starts next week. As we enjoy the final weeks of Revenant, we have one final celebration. It's a prologue of sorts, leading into Heresy, where we get a chance to see what life in the universe is like when there aren't any gods around for us to slay. This time, we spend a few quiet moments with Eris and the Drifter, remembering how far we've come and answering the age-old question, can pineapples bloom on the battlefield? If you played Riven's Wishes last year, the flow of the event will feel similar. Starting on January the 21st, you can visit the Drifter to pick up quests that will reward a special currency called Bento Tokens. Again, the thing we already covered. We already covered the leaks for this, but it's essentially going to give you a ton of rewards, including adept weapons. Now, these tokens can be exchanged for some, if we do say so ourselves, pretty snazzy rewards over at Eris. Throughout the event, you have a chance to earn a total of 8 Bento tokens, so spend wisely and make them count. Next, let's check out what you'll be spending them on. So here are the rewards right here. And yes, you do see that, Ignis. Ascended alloys, shards, ciphers, and spools of conquests, mementos as well. Pretty much all of them. Even the Guardian Games one. Wow. Guiding Solstice as well. Weapons that you can spend this on: Cloud Strike, Cataphract, Igneous Hammer, Horus Lease, Riptide, Hunter Artifice Armor, Titan Artifice Armor, and Warlock Artifice Armor. Now, it doesn't say right here, but per the leaks, there's supposed to be Adept. Now, interestingly enough, right here, if you see this, it says details fixed roles. These are your fixed roles that you can get on it. Igneous Assassin, Bait and Switch, no spike. Igneous Hammer, Fragile Focus, Precision Instrument, Ranged Masterwork, Fluted, Flare Magwell. They aren't going to be enhanceable though, right? I don't know, man. Someone says refresh the site. Oh, there we go. We've refreshed the website. Yes, you are going to get Adepts here, guys. Adept Riptide, Horus Lease, Igneous Hammer, Cataphract, all will be Adepts, which of course gives you access to the Adept mods. And, you know, that means you don't have to, I mean, some of these weapons are very difficult to get. You have to go through Trials of Osiris to get things like Cataphract and Igneous. And you'll be able to get the Adept version right here from these Bento tokens. This one's interesting right here. Adept Riptide. There shouldn't be I don't know if this is the typo. There should not be an Adept version of Riptide, but maybe Bungie's saying the hell with it, make it happen. Got Compulsive Reloader, Chill Clip, Enhanced Battery, Arrowhead Break. I would assume this is a mistake, but who knows? We'll see. And it just says right here for the Artifice Armor high stat rolls. All right, now the Chatter White Shader. And to make it even sweeter, once you have turned in 5 Bento tokens, you'll gain access to something as precious and as pale as the moon. That's right, Chatter White is coming back as a reward for participating in this event. The past Prologue event will only be around for 2 weeks, so don't waste any time and make sure you spend all your Bento tokens before the start of Heresy. Again, I don't see this. Don't look at this activity as like, you know, don't even look at it as like going to be some crazy activity that comes alongside this. Just look at it as a means of gaining a few rewards that maybe you don't already have. And, you know, I mean, I think last year the event was like, we literally like ran into like lost sectors and stuff and knocked it out pretty quick. All right, Fest of the Lost 2025 armor voting results. All right, here we go. This was quite the competition with a lot of love shown to both Slasher and Spectre designs. Hunters were especially torn on which design they preferred. Yeah, you guys were like 50-50. While this was our hotly contested votes, there are no losers here. The winning armor will be available for Fest of the Lost, while the runner-up armor will be available sometime the following year. So without further ado, here are the results of this year's vote. All right, for my Titans, the Slasher armor set. All right. Hunters. Oh, at 57% right here. Hunters, you won the Spectre armor set. me actually zoom out real quick. Oh God. Yeah, I was surprised that Hunter, it got that close. To me, this was the superior set. And then for Warlock, the Spectre set. Here we go. That looks good, man. Yeah. Now, in addition to the runner-up entries for this year's vote being developed, we'll also be releasing the runner-up wizard designs from last year's vote during Heresy. Keep an eye out for availability. We mentioned last week that we don't have plans to revisit voting runners-up from years past, but there's one more set that bears mentioning, the Kaiju Lizard Hunter. Anytime we talk about Festival of Lost Armor, this set inevitably comes up. And looking back, there's some obvious magic happening. However, we don't feel like this old concept quite meets our standards for new armor sets. Instead of tossing the whole thing in the bin, we're taking a more targeted approach. In 2025, we will release a Legendary Hunter Cloak ornament that pairs with a new look for the Dragon Shadow Exotic Hunter chest armor. Both items will be the Kaiju Lizard themed and will be inspired from the old Festival of Lost concepts. P.S. We also like those energy claws, but we're reserving them for now. I can't remember what that looks like. Oh, hold up. So this right here with the cloak like this is what they're referring to. All right, outside of that, Game to Give 2025 is kicking off. Let's go, man. It kicks off January the 23rd. We'll also be contributing to this as well, and we'll be letting y'all know whenever we're going to be streaming for that. Rewards are, let's see right here. Over the years, the Destiny community has proven that when Guardians unite, there's no challenge too great. Your unwavering support of the Bungie Foundation has made Game to Give a signal of hope for so many people across the globe. Mark your calendars to prepare to join us for a celebration of generosity, community, and the power of light. Head to GameToGive.com to set up your fundraiser. All right, so there's a shader, a sparrow, and an emotes. All right. Dramatic music, Kills Fall, our latest exotic mission has a ton going for it. Story beats, inclusion, Revenant storyline, some amazing conversations between characters, although we still think Aramis was very rude to Varix. And of course, our latest exotic weapon, Slayer's Fang, but many of you have focused on one very specific aspect of the mission, the Scorpion. We loved it so much that we have something for our more musically inclined Guardians. Those of you with a fine-tuned ear and a very quick draw, here's the Music of Mercury emblem. We're granting both the Movie of the Week and Music of the Mercury emblem, not only to those of you who make videos playing the Scorpion starting the day, but also those of you who have already invested hours into it. Oh, nice. Outside of that, guys, this past Tuesday, update 8.1.5.3 went live with a number of fixes to sandbox balance updates. We'll actually have a pre and post on that here soon, guys. This included re-enabling Shadow Shot Super and Vesper's Host and Ballador's Wrathweavers across the game. There's also some talk here about Slayer Fang's self-damage. Really what this boiled down to is that the self-damage that you're able to do with Slayer's Fang is intentional. And that is, essentially a balancing aspect to it. Although I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've killed myself with Slayer's Fang. Other than that, we have a number of known issues that I'm not going to dive into right now. Final notes from Bungie. That's everything we have for this week, but we're just getting warmed up for Heresy. We got some more major previews on the horizon for weapons and armor, as well as a look at the upcoming Trials of Osiris revamp. In the meantime, enjoy the past Prologue event as we wind down on Revenant. There are some pretty sweet rewards to be had. You've got the few days to plan out exactly how you'll spend your bento tokens. It's a great chance to fill in any gaps in your inventory or arsenal as we head into Heresy. The Destitute community team. Yeah, we're supposed to be getting some sort of Trials of Osiris revamp and Heresy. I don't really know what they're going to do here. No. So nothing was said about crafting weapons or RNG or any of that. And I'm sure they're going to talk about that more as the weeks come. So we'll be getting more information. And then on top of that, we'll also be getting probably a trailer or two, I would assume. All right, guys. I will say this. Heresy is bringing more than what I was expecting. I was expecting things to kind of be dialed back. And it would be just kind of like everything's getting pushed to frontiers. But the aspects and the art changes look pretty good. Dungeon should be dope. The question is what sort of ramp up effect are we going to have going into the later part of the episode? And then what is the narrative supposed to be? We're going back to the pyramid ship, Rogue's pyramid ship. Here's what I'm going to guess. We're going to Rogue's pyramid ship. We're going to take the worm out. We're going to put that worm in the dreadnought, and then we're going to charge the dreadnought with that worm. That was a good twab. I'm feeling hyped. I'm not gonna get too hyped. All right, got a confirmation here. Adept Riptide is a typo, and the new arc abilities won't be on Prismatic.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.